come out to show them.
So, hello Talkingreef. This is Samuel, also known as Astribian on the forums. I'm here with a helper, and I'm going to do a video cast here of a tube fuge. It's basically a refugium made out of a piece of PVC pipe. Something I was thinking about, I posted it up on one of the forums under the DIY projects, try to make a small refugium, low flow, for a nano tank. In this case, my hexagon, which I don't like, 10 gallon. This is really just kind of a show just to kind of test the concept, and in this one I'm going to show you how I'm going to put it together and hopefully how it works. I don't have any actual statistical data for you yet. I will have that shortly. The reason I'm going to do this for my tank is that the nitrates have been running somewhere around 10-15 parts per million, sometimes up to 20. No matter what I do, they don't seem to go down. If I change the water, they go down, you know, it's one of those little color things, so they go down a little tiny bit, but not a whole lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this little refugium, and the idea of the refugium is mostly to, like I said, help denitrify it, but the concept is a cryptic refugium. I believe actually Rob mentioned it on one of his shows on refugiums. They were talking about this. There's also a Reef videos talking about cryptic zones and refugiums as well. Basically the idea is this. You want to do a low flow dark so that everything in there, you have a bunch of live rock, the water will come in to the bottom, flow up to the top, and flow out, and over, like an overflow. The logic being that way no copepods or mysis shrimp or any of the other zooplankton or phytoplankton, whatever, mostly zooplankton I imagine, that you don't want to get chopped up in the impeller, won't, because it's going to overflow back into the tank. It's going to be sucked into it and pushed through the bottom all the way up. The idea of it being low flow and dark is that it should help us with, first of all, it'll increase your water volume. That's always good. And I'll have a little calculation for you exactly how much it's going to increase the water volume. It depends mostly on what you do here. But it's also dark, so you don't have to worry about lights. And it's, like I said, it's low flow. We're talking, you know, maybe up to 5 times turnover, probably less. I'm actually going for less. I just want a very slow amount of water coming out of it. The idea being it's going to allow for all these little denitrifying sponges to build up on the live rock and help polish the water while it comes back in. Also be a nice habitat for, like I said, copepods, mysis, other zooplankton, whichever else is there. The idea of using PVC is it's got to be cheap, it's got to be simple to do. I don't have that much money because I'm working on that 100 gallon, so the last thing I want to do is spend more money on a nano. Well, I was thinking this thing will eventually be a quarantine tank, so let's do it. Plus I thought this might be kind of a fun show. Looking at my script. What do we need? So let me show you what we need to do and how we're going to put this together. Oh, just as a note before I get to that, we end up with a question of, does size matter? And in this case, wider and longer is better. Usually is, right? No, this case, the wider the diameter of the main tube, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a second here, and the taller it is, the more water you're going to get, and the more rocks you're going to get in it, etc., etc. So, so with that in mind, let me show you kind of how I'm going to put this together. Okay. The first thing you're going to need is a power head, some PVC, or it's not some clear plastic tubing to fit the power head, the end of it, some 90-degree bends for the clear tubing. Of course, the PVC pipe. This one is 3 inches, something like 4 feet tall. 2 end caps for the PVC pipe. A 45-degree bend. This one's 1 inch. Some glue, of course, for the stuff. A saw or something to cut the PVC. And mine is going to be about 20 inches long, 20 inches long. So I'm going to cut the PVC to that length. So this is my 20-inch tube here. And then what you gotta do is glue one of the end caps onto the bottom of it. Now this is gonna go on like, let me clean it out first, forgot about that. So this is gonna go on like this. Hold on, here we go. So first thing I do, you know, put the primer on. Refer to Rob's little plumbing basics video. That's similar to this stuff. Robbie failed to mention how quickly this stuff smells terrible. It kind of makes you dizzy after a while. I had to open a window. I coat both sides here. Alrighty. So when we put the glue on, I'm sure this is very exciting for everyone who knows what I'm doing, but the idea here is this part will be glued on as soon as I get all the stuff on here. The other side will not be glued on. The other end cap we're not going to glue on. There's only 2 things to glue here, so you won't need too much. So I'm going to coat the inside of this here as well. And then we put that down in there. We push it down and hold it for about 30 seconds to make sure it's not going to push back out on us. Next step is to glue this little thing, this 45 bend, right here onto the top of it. So the other side is glued. That way the water will come out and pour out of there like a fountain or something.